Back on the Scout project today. It is now sitting on the Blazer chassis. The old original Scout frame has been pulled out. We have this much of the Blazer frame sticking out front, which I'm going to fab a new bumper and probably put a winch on it to fill in this space that you have here. I can cut that frame down more. There's plenty of room. I can cut it with no problems. But I think I want to leave it a little wide so I can put a winch on there. I've got just enough room between the water pump pulley and the grill that I think I can cram a radiator in there. If all else fails, I have this big gaping hole back here where the Scout motor used to sit that I could fab up and put a radiator and a cooling fan right there. But I think what I'm going to do there, if I can put the radiator in the front like it should be, I'm just going to make a fake firewall right there, and that will allow me to mount my pressure regulator for my fuel. I'm going to have to rewire this Scout because the wiring's just junk, and this thing, it's all old and brittle. So that'll allow me to actually put a fuse box in here. I can mount a fuse box there and rewire some stuff. So I think that's what I'll end up doing. I think everything else, I had to cut out the original Scout radiator core support, but I was able to leave the top part of it for some support. And then I'll have to figure out some way to give a little more support to the front at the bottom, but I'll get that figured out. But otherwise, I think it works pretty well on that Blazer frame. I don't think, if I was to tell you that I've done it, I don't think you would know unless you actually knew anything about these Scouts. The back frame sticks out quite a bit, and the fuel tank cross member and everything sticks out, but this is the original step bumper off the Scout. I think I can modify things between cutting on the bumper and cutting on the frame. I can make that work and look decent. So I redid the floor in the Scout a while back. We have where the shifter is for the Blazer is almost identical to where this shifter was for the Scout. So that won't be too big a deal. I'll have to put a new shifter handle on it to get it up higher and back a little bit. The transfer case was the original push button transfer case out of the Blazer, which I modified the electronic actuator, and put a piece of steel bar on, and then I will mount a shifter handle and be able to shift it manually. And then the vacuum actuator for the front axle, it's still here, and I will mount a push-pull cable, locking cable, kind of like the old throttle cables were in semis. I'll mount that under the dash and run that, and that'll allow me to actuate and lock in the front axle. So, all in all, I've got a lot of fab work to do as far as the body mounts go. Right now it's just sitting on the frame, but I think as far as location, front to back, and height-wise, I think she's looking pretty good. I plan on putting different tires and wheels, of course, on it, so I think I'll probably run some 31 by 1050s on it. And that'll kind of help fill the gap in the fender wells. And then I'll probably, because the Scout originally had in the back fender wells, there was some inner fenders that are supposed to be there that they were all rotten. And I had to cut them out anyway when I redid the floor in the bed. So I'll either they get some sheet rubber and fill in like the newer cars have anyway. Kind of cover the gaps up a little bit. But all in all, I like how it's setting. I like how it looks. And I'll just keep plugging on. I have to make some... Next step I'm going to do is I'll make the body mounts and get it bolted down to the frame. And then I'll just pick a front or back and go from there. So, till next time.